Alrighty, guys, welcome back. We are watching Nisemonogatari episode 9. Last time, what's even to be said? It was some unspeakable things happened that are better off left to I don't know. To I don't know. Who knows? We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about what happened last time. This is Tsukihi Phoenix Part 2. Hopefully we'll get into some actual Tsukihi and some Phoenix. I don't know. We'll see. We're watching Nisemonogatari Episode 9, Tsukihi Phoenix Part 2. You can line up you and copy with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. It went around his hair. There's no way she's read all of these books. Of course she's naked. What do you... It was a joke. What do you mean? How do you... Okay. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, you can't say that either. The thought. Okay. All right. Which thought? Like, okay. All right. I'm ignoring that. Thank you. I don't know. Maybe it's hot in her room or something. Let me read the lyrics this time. It's a very good opening, though. I like it. Honestly, one of my favorites. Hmm. That is trippy. Yeah, there's more. I don't know. There's the weird like bird wings in the background. I mean, yeah, Phoenix is a bird, so I sure makes sense to me. I don't know. Because it's weird because like he said that because I guess phoenixes are immortal, right? And he said Skihi is immortal. I just don't know if that's like God. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I just still can't tell if he was being like metaphorical in some way when he said that Skihi was immortal. Or is this Phoenix aberration like you become immortal? That sounds pretty good to me. What is that shot? That's impossible. Oh, okay. I don't know. That's fantastic. I don't have a rock paper scissors life, so I don't know. Maybe it was a big esports scene or something. He's acting like she's like a 6-year old telling him something. Okay. All right. Let's come on. Yeah. True. That's way more of a punishment for him than for you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. No, she has to show you the trick. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. It's not too bad, I guess. You hypnotize your opponent. Yeah, I'm ready. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. And? Uh-huh. Sure, I guess. Thank you. Hmm. She just thought of it. She's acting like it was like some deep strategy that she's honed for years. Would you really? I wouldn't want her to carry me on her shoulders. Yeah, yeah. I fantastic. How? How? I guess. Like, not really. Kinda. You could just, I don't know, put your hair down or something. I don't know. I know. What are we? Okay, really? Okay. All right. Fantastic. All right. Great. Okay. Wow. Cool. She's just gonna throw it away. Wow. All right. All right. He's not gonna like that. Hmm. I feel like I could really stretch to get some stuff out of that. I don't know. That and the rock paper scissors. I this is fantastic. Oh God. Look at her face. Okay. I don't think so. Yeah, whoa. You should be strong enough to power through it, Karen. Come on. What are the advanced? She's just gonna start sprinting. And good. You deserve it. Okay, alright. Okay, like, I don't think so. Alright, off we go. What's Convery gonna think about the situation? They're just walking slowly. Okay. Hi there, person. An adult. That's very rare. Oh, is that the abandoned school? I assume? She is an adult, and she's calling him Devil Boy. So, does she, like, know what's up, you know? I. Maybe, a little bit. I think there's a clear winner there, unfortunately. Yeah. Kaganui Yozuru. It's a weird. Okay. Okay, yeah. So she certainly knows. Hmm. Yeah. She knows what's up. I guess last arc we were introduced to Kaiki, you know, and now we have another adult, like, specialist kind of, you know? Thank you. No. Yes. No, you aren't. You're in the park. Well, I think you know it too. I assume it's the one school that we know about, other than Naoetsu High. Yeah. Hmm. So is Kaganui coming to, like, take over for Oshino because he's gone or something? Of course, of course, of course. As always, I have to throw that in there. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. It's fantastic that we're keeping up with that the plot line. Perfect. Exactly what she wants. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds okay. I wonder if that's what it is. She's, like, taking over for Oshino, you know? The fact that she's calling him Devil Boy has me a little bit worried. Okay. Hmm. The fact that she's calling him Devil Boy has me a little bit worried that we aren't gonna have as good of a relationship with her as we had with Oshino. But I don't know. Karen, yeah, Karen's had some weird reactions to her. Hmm. Except for the way she acted and spoke. I Yeah. What do you call what you're doing right now then? That okay, I guess. There can be people with biologically punching shaped fists that don't punch people though. Come on. Scary. Okay. Oh, right. Sure. I mean, kinda. That doesn't actually make sense, but sounds good to me. She's so much taller. Ooh, Jikuji. Let's go. We have a dilemma at hand. What do we do? What do we do? Last time it didn't work out so well. So, uh-huh, uh-huh. Maybe, maybe. Uh-huh, uh-huh. A little bit. Yeah. Uh-huh. Have you learned your lesson now? I mean, but everything went wrong last time, so I don't know. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Sure, sure. Uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh. Just a nice, normal, calm greeting. Yeah, uh-huh, uh-huh. Perfect. Time to get started. One single minute. All right, all right. I'm ready. Uh-huh, uh-huh. She's dead. It's over. Oh, he's dead. Never mind. Yeah. She ruined everything. It's all over. Whoa! I don't, come on, you can't say that. Sure. What do we even have to talk to Hachikuji about? I don't know. I can think of a lot we could, I guess. I come on. You could say he's doing it to make Sindra like him instead. I I don't know. I probably kind of accurately. Well, I okay. Okay, I wow, we are really man. Thank you. Okay, I you literally can't say that. That's not something you can say. That isn't allowed. That those you aren't allowed to say that. Thank you. Yeah. What? What? I don't. Okay, I don't get the reference there. Wow. Okay. I. Thank you. Okay. Is that the problem? True. Yeah. I don't. The way you've been doing it is okay. I don't think so. Uh huh. Uh huh. I love how we. I sure. I guess. I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe. Hi. Here's the girl we were told about who speaks in third person. Yeah. She looks a little bit weird. Okay. Are we gonna do that every time? Onanoki Yatsugi. Hmm. And Snail Girl. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and yeah, she could see Hachikuji. So, okay. More so than even just her calling her Snail Girl. Okay. Interesting. Very unique character design. Hmm. Uh-huh. Hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. I don't know if I would call you a devil. It was you don't. Yeah, you can't take that line from Karen. Man, that was okay. That was an episode. I don't know. I this felt like the proper first episode of the arc to me, unlike whatever that was in the last episode. In a way, I don't know. I always like. I just don't know how much I'm gonna have to say about it. I always worry about that, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. There's definitely some interesting dynamics already with Aragi and this Kaganui stuff. Um, hmm. What about Kaganui means? Because Kage means shadow. I'll look it up. I'm curious. I'll just use Google Translate. I'm not gonna like get spoiled. This open. I mean, this ending has grown on me. I have a theory of who you could say the ending lyrics are from the perspective of, but it might be stupid. Because if it is, it's kind of very different for other things we've seen of that character. Sure. Okay. Well, yeah, there's golden and there's chocolate. It's two separate things. Like, come on. Not again. That's not a good punishment. I did Tsukihi show up at all in this episode? No, she didn't. Schemy? I don't know what that means. Okay, anyway, we'll talk about it in the discussion. Alrighty, let's talk about the episode. I don't know, this was a weird episode. Like, we kinda, half of the episode was a rock, paper, scissors scene, and then, man, I don't know, it really just felt like setup for the arc, kind of. Like, it's kind of like a similar thing. I feel like it's happened before, where, like, kind of, the last episode didn't really feel like the first episode of the arc. It was kind of its own special thing. And this felt like the real first episode of the arc. So, honestly, I just worry I'm not gonna have that much to say. I guess we'll see. There's a lot of really like vague. For one, what do I even say about this this comfort stuff? I think it's very funny that she's like reading these books that are like they're like weird yaoi boy love stuff, and I assume that's why she is saying this crazy stuff about Karen's virginity, because she's reading it as she's talking to him. I don't know. I just think that's funny. Oh, let me read this at the opening here. Wait. Gotta remember. Such a response has left me bewildered. What could this be? I feel as though the gag part has reached its end. Could the fun times be over? Does the playing end here? Holy shit. You know what? That's actually, like, big. No, you know why that's big? You know why this is like me? Because, like, Nisemonogatari has been the gag part, right? It has been the fun times, as this says, It really feels like we are in this, like, intermission, probably. I mean, compared to, like, Kizu and Bake, think about how different Nisei is. I mean, I've said that probably 20 times about how different Nisei is, especially compared to Kizu, but even compared to Bake, obviously, right? There's a lot more, I don't know. Bake was very different than Nisei still. And yeah, it really feels like we're in this intermission. We're in the fun times right now. And I assume this is Araragi. I don't know what he's responding to. Such a response. I don't know what response he's talking about, but yeah. I mean, I assume in his mind this is something that he's thinking too, is that right now, all this happiness that he has and all of this, from, he has all these friends now and everything. I assume he thinks it's like temporary and that these are just the fun times and it's gonna, he will righteously get his punishment soon for, that's, I mean, that's really, yeah, no, that's actually, that is a very good, man, that is, yeah, that's something. So, like, what do I say about this? It's really just more the same, like, in terms of Araragi being a freak, it's literally, yeah, we talked about it, rock, paper, scissors. Let's talk about rock, paper, scissors. Like, what do we say about that? I've really been trying to think of how you can apply rock, paper, scissors to, like, Karen. Or, like, Araragi even, right? And, like, the best thing I can come up with, I guess, is, like, in rock, paper, scissors, there's very rigid, solid rules, and there's always only one, like, right answer. There's one thing that you should play, and that's the only way you can win, is by playing the one correct thing. There's very rigid rules, there's no, and I really feel like, in a weird way, you can apply that as, like, almost an outline of how, like, Araragi views the world, because he has this weird, we talked about it 2 episodes ago, about his, like, his system of right and wrong, and whether or not it's, like, principle-based or outcome-based. Like, the rules of rock, paper, scissors, like, a representation of his, like, God, what do you call it? I don't like calling it morality, because I feel like it's not really morality, but his system of right and wrong, it being principle-based, right? Because it's like there's these things that you just have to do. There's a very rigid structure to it, and things that you have to do correctly, and that's just like how rock, paper, scissors is. There's only one right answer. There's one right decision that Araragi thinks he should be making, and that's just it. That's just like rock, paper, scissors. The fact that Karen wants to cheat at rock, paper, scissors, man, I wonder if it's like after her conversation with Araragi at the end of Karen B. Maybe I'm really overreacting. I mean, like, frankly, other than just like that surface level, just comparing rock paper scissors to Aragi's like a system of right and wrong and how he views the world, I have nothing else. I don't know. That's all. I don't. There's nothing else deeper to it. So I don't know. Um, I get you could probably take something from the fact that Karen wants to cheat at it and Aragi calls her out for it. I mean, it's kind of just more of the same stuff that I just said, I guess. Um, it feels really silly to be saying this, but it means something. It's there for a reason. So I don't know. There you go. I yeah, sure. In terms of Aragi being carried on Karen's back. Oh God, I mean, what? I literally, there's something you can take from it. I'm telling you. Okay, no. First, the fact she cuts off her hair. Um, God. I guess I mean, it's kind of just the idea of her, cutting off her hair, being a representative of like change, because like, yeah, sure, just yeah, makes sense to me. Like almost representative of the change in the way Aragi sees her too. But talking about Aragi riding on Karen's back, I don't even, I don't know. I like, is there some I guess there's some completely just deranged stuff I could try and take from it and say it means something in some weird way. Like, you could say if Karen is almost like Karen like is Kiyomi, right? And Karen is like this weird like justice side of Araragi. And the fact that she's carrying him, you could say is like that's kind of what his like literally been carrying him through life for who knows how long. But I it feels really silly to try and like extrapolate. I think, anyone here, let's play like a game. You guys can think of stupid meanings you could take from Aragi riding on Karen's back and tell me and give it to me. I don't know. I feel like with that line of thought you can understand where I'm coming from and see like there's certainly some kind of like metaphorical meaning you could take from it. But like I don't know, it's silly. So, it really just I don't know. Cuz I don't know, whenever I'm going down into something like stupid like this, it just makes me feel like, you know, someone a normal person would think everything I'm saying is like crazy. But there's a reason why the author included this scene, right? There's a reason why it's here. And with the way this author has written the story, I have full faith that every scene and every interaction between every character, like, has some kind of deeper, like, narrative meaning to it than is, like, on the surface. Because that's kind of just been, like, the entire story. Um, so yeah, I mean, the problem is like all these analogies I come up with feel like they kind of fall apart in a way. Like you can say like that whole thing about Karen being like representative of the feeling of justice that Aragi has, and him like being carried by her like this is like. But at the same time, it's like after everything that happened in Karen B, does that really like fit anymore? I mean, it probably does. I guess I hope you can understand like the dilemma I'm in with like trying to like ridiculous overanalyze these scenes, or just like I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna do it because I think it's fun. Um, but I could just be wrong. It's not like I'm saying I think I'm right, like for sure. I could just be completely wrong about my entire interpretation of it. Um, so I don't know. That's all. So we meet Kagenui, which yeah, wow, this scene really just goes on forever, doesn't it? It really does. It really does. Anyway, we meet Kagenui, who is cool. I forgot to look up what her name means. I'm gonna do that right now because I am curious. But I know Kage means shadow. I'm just using Google Translate. I'm not like googling it. Yeah, Kage means shadow. What does Nui mean? If I just type in Kagenui, well, it doesn't. If I type in Kage space Nui, it says Shadow Stitch. But like, if I just type in Nui, it doesn't say anything. Google Translate sucks. So like, who knows? I don't know. Nuite means remove, which is interesting. I don't know. Who cares? I don't think I'm gonna find it. Kage means shadow, and I think that's interesting, specifically in relation to like Araragi, because there's certainly some shadow stuff going on with him. The fact that she calls him Devil Boy is very interesting. I guess here I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. So she asked to go to Aiko cram school. In my mind, she's an adult. Every adult we've seen has been like either like a specialist like Oshino, or like a vampire hunter, which I guess the vampire hunters they probably are specialists, right? They're just vampire hunters. So yeah, I mean, I think every time we see an adult, they're going to be someone like Kaganui. And that kind of makes sense with like what aberrations represent in the story, like adults are people who are going to kind of, I mean, adults for the most part you would expect them to have their life together more than like high school kids, so them being specialists and like understanding oddities and aberrations more than like the kids do, I don't know, it makes sense to me. But yeah, she's a specialist. She calls him Devil Boy and all of this. She wants to go to the cram school. So here's what I'm thinking. If I want to, like, I go for some crazy, I don't know, predictions on where I think this is going. So, like, is Kaganui, like, taking over for Oshino? Because Oshino's gone, and she's going to the cram school. She says she needs a base of operations. And, like, what I'm thinking is, she's calling Araragi Devil Boy. So, I'm just wondering, like, are we going to have some kind of, like, a... Well, maybe not, because I'm wondering if we would have some kind of a more oppositional relationship between Araragi and Kaganui. Because if we think about what Araragi is, he is this... he is a vampire. He is harboring a legendary vampire man-killer in his shadow. So he kind of is like a dangerous thing, Because of his relationship with Oshino, and I guess maybe because of Oshino's whole balance thing, Oshino was his friend, right? And I mean, kind of his friend in a way. He was his, he's a lot of stuff, I guess. But he had a relationship with Oshino that is maybe different than how other specialists might see him, Just the fact that she's calling him Devil Boy kind of has me worried about, I don't know. Because I guess that's just not something I really thought about before, Like the vampire hunters, for example, If the vampire hunters, if the vampire hunters weren't all, like, dispatched in Kizu, would they still be trying to kill Araragi and Shinobu? I assume so. I mean, why wouldn't they, It was really Oshino with his whole weird balance thing that, like, was, like, the difference for him, So I assume for most specialists, like the vampire hunters, and I probably like Kaganui, he is probably still just a crazy, dangerous aberration oddity thing, So, I don't know. I'm kind of worried, I guess. But at the same time, as I'm saying this, it's like, she obviously knows what he is, because she's calling him Devil Boy and Karen Hornet, whatever. So, like, does she, if she knows what he is, and he's like this dangerous vampire devil thing, you would think she would just like try and attack him and kill him right now. And that's what I would think. That's what the vampire hunters would do, right? If he's this evil monster walking around, wouldn't you want to get rid of him immediately? So maybe not. Maybe I'm overthinking it, I guess. But I don't know, because it's I don't know. I feel like that would make a lot of sense to me, though, that he's going to have some kind of an oppositional relationship with her compared to Oshino. So, I don't know. We'll see. He calls Hanakawa. God, I love Hanakawa so much. Yeah, so Aiko Cram School is the abandoned school. She says it's nothing worth thanking her for, because of course she always has to do that every single time. She can never do anything, apparently. And Hanakawa knows everything going on in Araragi's life. How did she know that one? Like, literally, how did she know that one? Like, I guess, no? Why would Karen have told her? I don't know. I have no idea. Does she have security cameras outside Araragi's house? I don't know. I have no idea. And yeah, it's like these shots of Kaganui with, like, the darkness on her face. I don't remember getting shots of this at Oshino. Actually, no, I kind of do. We did definitely get shots of this. Like this with Oshino. But I don't know. I'm curious. And I don't know why she's the way she's like walking on stuff, you know? Because they show, yeah, because it's like she's, hmm. It kind of gives me the idea that she's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna try and go crazy and analyze this not walking on stuff thing. Never mind. And Karen says she's really strong, which again, I feel like this is setting up some kind of conflict, you know? We're talking about how strong and awesome she is, but at the same time, if she thought Aragi was evil, like the vampire hunters would, wouldn't she have just attacked Aragi right then and there? I don't know. It's really, this is why I don't like speculating about future events, because I just don't know. So, who cares? We'll see, and I'll analyze it when it happens. Sounds good to me. I love how much taller Karen is. Then like, she's literally like a head taller than Conbro. It's like ridiculous. Hajikuji. God, I love Hajikuji. So if we want to talk about overanalyzing again, so like Aragi goes on this long, crazy spiel about how he's an adult now and he's way too grown up to care about Hajikuji and all of this insane stuff. And I guess it's making me just like think even more. Like Hajikuji is the way he can act around and with Hajikuji. Like again, I mean, we've talked about it so many times. I don't want to rehash it every single time because I feel like I'm always repeating myself. But he can be so open with her and he acts so different with her than like every other character because of the nature of their relationship, right? And him saying that he doesn't care about her because he's an adult now. Like for one, obviously he's being like crass. He's not being like serious here. He's being like coy, you know. He's not like there's no he's not being serious. He's doing whatever you want to call this. But it's like he is it's almost like the way he acts with Hajikuji is like really ridiculous and insane, you know, like the when he first meets her every time, at least, right? And you can certainly call it like immaturity or like being childish, the way he acts towards her, you know. If you even want to go a step further, you can say his ridiculous like proposals of love towards her, or like a representation of not a representation, but just like is in a further extension of him just acting like childish and immature around her, you know? So him putting being an adult in like opposition to being able to like hang out and chill with Hajikuji. I don't know. It makes sense to me, right? Because it's like it's like he reverts to being a stupid little kid when he's with her, you know? And like, yeah, I don't know. There's more stuff I like thought about, but I think I will wait to see if it like pans out, I guess, because I think it's maybe going too far in terms of I don't know. And Shinobu stops him, which I don't know. He deserved it, I guess. You know, it's the thought that counts, though. That's what matters. You know, Hajikuji didn't get mad at him this time because, of course, at least he tried to assault her. So we're all good. You know what? No, I'm gonna say what I was gonna say because I think it's like I think it's like real. I think it's real and true. So this has been fact checked. Hajikuji is lost, right? She's the lost snail. She was the lost cow, right? So if we're saying Hajikuji, if she is like this, I don't want to say she's like a representation of Aragi's like immaturity, because I don't think that's really fair. That's not really it. It's more so just her existing gives him an opportunity to act like that, you know? So I guess in a sense you could say that she's like a representation of his immaturity, but like I feel like that's kind of, you know. But the fact that she's like lost like this, it just makes me think about how like until Bake, Araragi basically had destroyed his entire life. Right, like in Kizu, he didn't have a life, you know, he had no friends, he was failing school. I don't know what his relationship with his family was, but we know what he thinks about it, so probably not very good. So like, and he's a child, so it really is like he destroyed his own childhood. You know, it really is like because of his like, you know, his depression and suicidality. I mean, to not, you know, I mean that alone, but also just his mindset involving that, which I think do kind of go hand in hand. with like severe depression, but um it really is like he literally lost his childhood and it was just like destroyed because I mean, um not like literally, but just he didn't really get to experience his childhood. I feel like weird saying that because like he still has like a good life and a good childhood compared to um most people in most places, like Hanakawa. Hanakawa's life sucks more than his does, So I don't really want to say it's like self-inflicted, but it kind of is in a way. But I'm not really blaming him. I don't know. But let's just say that at least maybe in Aragi's mind, it's like he lost his childhood because of his like stance on relationships and all of that. So it's almost like with Hanji-Kuji now, it's like he's making up for lost time. I mean, he said that before. He said himself that he feels like he's making up for lost time in terms of his relationships with everyone, all of that. But it really is. It's like he's making up for lost time that he could have spent like being a child and enjoying his youth. But because of his depression, suicidality, and all of that, and his stance on everything, it's like it was just he lost it. And Hanji-Kuji is the lost cow, and he's through being reunited with her. Not being through meeting her, right, and being reunited with her on subsequent times, like this. It's like he gets to reconnect with the childhood that he like lost. You get what I mean? I hope you can. Yeah, sure. That sounds good to me. Um, so I, it really is. I feel like there has to be something behind Haji-Kuji bringing up Hanakawa all the time, you know? Because she has literally done this like 3 times, talked about how Aragi should like marry Hanakawa and how he's in love with Hanakawa and all of this. I guess Haji-Kuji probably likes Hanakawa more than Senjugahara, because I think it's kind of odd, like the stuff she said about Senjugahara compared to like she's actually met Hanakawa. Hanakawa was nice to her in the park. So I guess like that alone like makes sense on like a literal level why she would like Hanakawa more than Senjugahara. I'm trying to think of like some other reason you could give for why she really says this kind of thing all the time. Man, I don't know. I don't know. That's too much for me. Couldn't tell you. Haven't thought of anything. If I think of something in the future, I'm sure it'll come back up and I'll mention it, I guess. um and then anyway, this is just yeah, Aragi, you really can't say these things to people. No human being would ever say that. I do agree. So, thank you. Thank you. I don't get the reference here. I don't know what that is. Someone tell me. It looks like it's just from a different anime. I have no idea. I don't know. Was that just like a person? I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Couldn't tell you. He proposes to her. I don't know what that's all about. Well, no, I do know what that's all about. It's just like it's almost like it's literally showing like the weird like Aragi and emotional attachment and the way he expresses it through this weird like sexuality angle. It's like it's literally just him thinking about that, like literally, like when he thought like, how do I get the feelings in my, whatever to make her understand, to reach her heart. I guess I don't know. I guess this is the way he does it. So I don't know. Got to be careful around him. And we meet Onanoki. What was her name again? Onanoki. I wrote it down. Onanoki Yatsuki. Which is another interesting name. I don't know what any part of it means, though, so unlucky. She has a very unique outfit here. I don't know. It's really she speaks in this incredibly detached, emotionless way. She literally speaks in third person, which I feel like goes along with that, the way she speaks so detached and so monotone, and she speaks in third person. But she has this like insane over the top outfit that's just very vibrant and colorful, and she has blue hair. I don't know. It's something, I guess. She's obviously, yeah, she has some relation to Kaganui. Obviously, right? Kaganui like literally said this, right? I guess like, what is she? I assume, I mean, she acts so weird and unnatural. I assume she's like an oddity or aberration of some kind, right? And the fact she can like see Hachikuji, like obviously she knows like what's up. But I guess I don't really know what she is. I don't know. Hmm. I guess I don't know. I don't know really know if I have any other thoughts to say. We get like 2 lines from her, so I don't know. Um. Hmm. She speaks in third person. Is there some like I don't know lack of self determination and lack of self that's kind of been a thing with Araragi? I don't know. Who knows? I sure I'm not gonna analyze it off of 2 lines from her. So we will see. I'm sure we will see more of Ononoki Yatsugi. We have another little girl, so who knows how long it's going to be before Aragi gets his hands on her. Not looking forward to that. And last thing, the way he thinks about this, about how like this is kind of what's making me second guess my whole idea about Aragi actually having an oppositional relationship with Kaganui is she is calling him Devil Boy, and he thinks about how, oh right, I am a devil because I'm a vampire, you know? Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but like he doesn't like Aragi is a vampire, right? In name only. He's not actually a blood-sucking vampire. He hasn't killed anyone. He hasn't drank anyone's blood. He's never like actually acted like a vampire, you know? It kind of just goes back to like his weird principle-based right and wrong thing. He just thinks like what he is now, this whole vampire deal that he's in, is fundamentally wrong. It goes against his principles of what is right and wrong, right? Just like what being a vampire represents, which is like connection to other people. So like what what he is and what he's doing is wrong, and so he thinks, oh, so she's calling me a devil. That must be like yeah, because I am a devil, because I'm a vampire. I'm a devil. I'm what I'm doing is wrong, and what I am is wrong. Right? That's what he's thinking. I think it's the fact that it plays so much like into that weird mentality that obviously is like wrong and crazy is what's making me like second guess it, right? Because if Kaganui decided, oh yeah, I hate this evil Aragi vampire guy, I want to kill him, it's like that would play into his mindset about what he is being wrong. I mean, I guess it's totally possible that's what's going to happen, because even if that does happen, that doesn't mean that I'm like supposed to agree with it. It's possible that that will happen and it will like wrongfully reinforce Aragi's mindset. Um, I guess that could be where we're going. I just think like, hmm, I don't know. I guess it really, in terms of whether or not it's going to happen, I guess there's no, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I guess that just like, hmm, I don't know. Um, we'll see what happens. We will see. Who knows? I mean, it's not like I'm going to figure it out. So I will see you in the next episode, I assume. Um, yeah, I guess that's it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. I don't think so. I ended up talking for 30 minutes somehow about like nothing. I don't know. That was crazy. Um, hmm. Well, that's it. That was a good episode. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Give me your interpretations about some of the insane things that you really have to reach for in this one. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.